Hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Kieran and this is ttrpg. So today we're going to do a short review and it's going to be on Treasures from the Dark for Shadowdark. This is going to be a very simple, straightforward book really, and has some cool ideas that might be useful for people who maybe don't want to create treasure items or magic items and stuff like that. You're going to have a bunch of different items like it has here in the introduction. You have different categories. You're going to have magical sets. There's going to be a set of items which are going to work together. Once you have a complete set, you're going to have some extra bonuses. Progressing items, so items which will essentially level up over time. It's going to have armor, shields, and general weapons. Traditional weapons, just some different ideas on normal weapons. Example, one of the ones in here will be like a crossbow that shoots coins instead, and there's a different amount of point damage based on the coin, but the coins get permanently destroyed. There's some different ideas out there. So in traditional armor and items, musical instruments, and then it talks more about what is. Actually, I'm going to start over. Hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Kieran, and this is ttrpg. Sorry again. Hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Kieran, and this is ttrpg. So today we're going to be doing a mini review. It's going to be a relatively short one, and it's going to be on Treasures from the Dark for Shadowdark. Now before we get into this one, I just want to again thank you guys for checking out my videos as always. If you could subscribe, if you're not subscribed, that helps out the channel massively. Anytime you interact, so again, subscribe, comment, leave a like, that helps out massively. I'll also leave my links below if you ever want to get anything for Drive Through RPG or any of its other subsidiaries like fiction, comics. I have my affiliate link there. You can put it in. It helps out the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. And I have a Discord and my X account, and you can find it all there in the pinned comment and in the description. So let's get into this review. It's going to be quick, it's going to be simple, and we're going to go over what's in this and some of the ideas and how you might want to use this, if you want to use it at all, of course. So this is Treasures from the Dark for Shadowdark. Of course, this can be used with any OSR type system with very minimum changes. You're going to have different types of items in here. So you're going to have magical sets. So you're going to have sets which are going to be, one of them might be a shield, a sword, or a piece of armor. That's your set. Once you get that set complete, you're going to gain extra bonus for having the complete set, kind of like we do if you're playing an MMO or any RPG video game. You will then have your progressing armor. Essentially, they're going to level up as you level up, and it's also another way of finding tiers within the same armor, which could be interesting. And same goes for shields, weapons, and so on. You will also then have traditional weapons and items. There's going to be random sets of different items. Example, one of them you could find here is going to be a crossbow. Instead of shooting arrows, or bolts, it will shoot coins. Based on the coin you put in it, and it's going to give you a certain amount of damage to it. So a copper coin is going to be a +1 to damage. Silver is +2 and a gold is +3, but the coins are permanently destroyed. It's an interesting idea. Maybe you will or will not use it, but it's in here. And you have musical instruments. I nearly said musical items. Musical instruments, which again are going to be interesting ways you can do it. I talked about here traditional and cursed items. All items are magical unless said otherwise in the text. That's talking about the contents of the book. Activating benefits unless otherwise stated. These magic items follow the rules. Activating an item's ability uses the wielder's action. Some items activate in response to a trigger, which may occur when the wielder or another creature's turn. In this case, an action is not required. So it has an automatic effect. So if it has an effect of, say, it gives you +2 to your wisdom or something like that, it's just an automatic thing that puts in. If you have to do any kind of saving throw or check, you then relate to that. Simple idea. Typically, ability can only use once per turn. Some will be once per day as well in this. And no action is required to gain passive benefits. Example, a +1 to something. Increased types of damage to a weapon. And of course, when you talk about different kinds of weapons here, I just talk about some pretty obvious things, which I say it's obvious, but there will be people out there. You're usually going to be new people, which is completely fine. It's like, oh, well, I don't want this Gustav Crank's sword. I don't want crank sword, long sword. I want it to be a dagger or a mace. Just change it. It's a mace now. That's it. And it does talk about experience points, about leveling up and stuff like that. So a bonus of +1 is going to give it no benefit. It's going to have 1 experience points. So if you found it, it's going to give your character 1 experience points. So it's like going to be on your treasure table sort of idea. The goal value is around this, and an NPC character level would have a level 4 to 5. But yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Progressing to static. Yeah, it just gives you sort of ideas what you can have in here. So magical sets. I think this is an interesting idea. And the reason why is because people do this in games anyway. But this is going to open up things to people who maybe haven't done this. If you ever played any RPGs back in the day, like video games, you'll have a lot of sets. MMOs are sets. A lot of people don't do that. Or even back in the day, like people did create like so-and-so's shield, so-and-so's mace, so-and-so's bow. I'm just talking about when you have them all together. You have Crank's chainmail, which is going to have you a +1 mail. It's going to be a +1 to armor. If you wield this whole set, this +1 now is a +2. Has a benefit of damage taken from non-magical weapons is reduced by 1 if you wield at this set, so you have all 3. Crank's sword is a +1, becomes a +2 if you have this set. A benefit per day, deals +5 damage on a hit with this weapon. If you wield a set, it increases to a +10. That's going to be a once a day. That's pretty freaking powerful. Now, the good idea with this stuff is you can have these attached to quests. All this sort of stuff. So maybe you have your characters who are like, okay, maybe my character wants to go on a journey. They've heard rumors about some items out in the world. They get them and they can go back to the town or village. They get it appraised, and then it's like, oh, this is part of a collection from this mighty warrior or this amazing wizard. And then you could develop sort of quests around this if you want, or you can just have it as random treasure. You know, it's just. Or give them to NPCs, like it suggests what character level, what NPC level to give it to based on the amount of benefits. It's just an interesting idea, I think. And you're going to have a bunch of sets in here. You have the Mighty Plates, Mighty Club, Mighty Boots, the Perish Deadly set, Deadly's Dagger, Deadly's Letters, and Deadly's Spectacles. That's cool. Just an interesting idea. Again, I want to keep this one short, but it's just a bunch of interesting items. Some of them are going to be simple, straightforward. You can just plug in, no problem. You can find it as treasure instead. So if someone has a +1 weapon, and to get a +1 weapon, if they find a treasure hoard and it's equivalent to 350 gold, there you go. There's your +1 weapon, and you get their experience as well from finding it. And it's a simple idea, and you don't have to create things if you don't want to. And it talks about progressing items. Weapons and armor become more powerful depending on the wielder's level. The level of a listed bonus or benefit refers to the level of the wielder must be currently in order to use it. So, progressing armor. Armor of hiding. A robust patchwork of various hill giants hide. So at level 5 it gives you +1 armor. At level 8 it's +2. Benefits: hidey hole. You loosen sections of the armor, allowing you to store additional gear. Makeshift pockets gives you +1 to gear slot. And it goes down. It has a level 2. You get an extra slot. It's going to be 2 total. Level 5, 3 in total. 5, you're going to gain giant strength. Your strength stat increases by 1 to a maximum of 20 while wearing this armor. Giant strength is now increased by 2 for level 8. So it's just some ideas you could pull from this and be inspired to create your own very easily. Again, stuff like this is just handy to have around. Progressing weapons, Angel Killer. Okay. So Angel Killer. Bonus +1 crossbow can only be wielded by lawful creatures. At level 5, it is now +2. So a benefit at level 2, you have a +1 on all your checks. At level 5, is increased by another 1, so 2 in total. And at level 7 is angelic senses. Once per day, you can see all invisible creatures and objects within you for 10 minutes. So this could be very useful if you're going to like a lair somewhere with demons, or it's just teamed, angels, so demons, or some wizard, magic user type who is using some sort of illusion magic. Angel Killer is going to be a longsword, which is sort of like the opposite. This one can only be wielded by lawful users, and this one is going to do damage to angels in particular. So maybe this is going to be something you could find off a demon. Chaos Blades, and then it has the Chaos chart, and you're basically going to get to roll on what that is, which I think is cool. You can add to it. And there's going to be some negatives as well. So yeah, guys, this is very simple. We'll go down to the next little section in here. Monarch Ballad Locks. Again, this is probably inspired by Godzilla. Monarch was the name of, in the last Godzilla movies, of the company. They're sort of behind it. Traditional weapons. Okay, here's that coin operated crossbow I talked about. So we're going to +1, +2, or +3 depending on the coin. So copper, silver, gold. It's an interesting idea. Yeah, I think this is just a fun little book. Now, there's something I have noticed on drive-thru in general, or from projects in general, is sometimes they will have PDF versions on Kickstarters and stuff. This was a Kickstarter, and they'll offer PDFs and print-on-demand copies, or whatever the case might be. And sometimes when they give you the PDFs, it's not going to be on drive-thru. It is only going to be on BackerKit. Which I do not think that's a good idea. I can't remember this doing that or not. I'm just speaking in general. But I think it's good. They should give it on drive-thru as well as BackerKit. If they're going to do it on BackerKit, they should definitely give it on drive-thru. It's as much a benefit for them as it is for the users or the buyers or backers in this case. Because if I have it on drive-thru, I can now leave a review. If I don't have it on drive-thru, I have to buy it again, and I wouldn't want to buy it again if I already bought something once, even if I just got the PDFs. I think that's something that should be addressed by people. It's not going to really cost anything. You already have it out there, and it's going to have everything in one place. Plus, it's a backup in case something happens to BackerKit, or the BackerKit in case something happens to drive-thru. But yeah, that's going to be the review of Treasures from the Dark. Again, a short, simple review. I think it's an interesting book. A lot of people will probably find it useful, and a lot of people won't. I think it's an interesting idea. Anyone who's played for a long time is going to come up with all magic items in there based upon the stuff in their own worlds anyway. But if you're new, I think this might be quite handy. Stuff like this is always handy, especially if you're lazy. Again, like if I play solo, I'd probably just grab something. This is going to be better than me creating something that might become a bit too powerful. Some of the stuff is very powerful though. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you like this one. Remember, guys, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and have a good day.